Today, some argue a new order is forming, one they call Pax Judaica, an era in which Israel's rivals have been neutralized and its influence consolidated, not only through military outcomes, but through political leverage, lobbying power, blackmail, intelligence dominance, and advanced surveillance. At first glance, this idea seems implausible. Israel is small. It lacks strategic depth. It depends heavily on Western military, economic, and diplomatic support, and exists within the framework of the American empire. So how could it possibly function as a global empire, exerting influence far beyond its borders? The answer requires us to rethink what power looks like in the information age. When most people hear the word empire, they imagine vast armies occupying territory, overseas bases spanning continents, massive navies patrolling the globe, and aircraft carriers parked off foreign coasts. In short, hard power. Israel does not fit that traditional image. It does not have the population, industrial base, resources, or global logistics footprint of traditional empires like the United States, Russia, or China. It does not field aircraft carriers or manufacture the volume of hardware and weaponry required to sustain global conventional dominance on its own. But what if that no longer mattered? What if control came not from possessing a global force, but from directing one? What if the key was not actually becoming an empire, but steering one that already exists? Israel's power derives less from what it controls within its borders than from the leverage it exercises beyond them through institutions, alliances, intelligence networks, technology, finance, lobbying, blackmail, and propaganda in other countries. In short, Pax Judaica describes an empire made possible by proxy, sustained leverage over existing powers rather than direct occupation. The United States remains the most powerful imperial structure on earth, militarily, financially, and institutionally. But power does not necessarily belong to whoever owns the machine, it belongs to whoever steers it. Over the decades, Israel's Zionist networks in the United States learned how to operate inside the institutions where American interests are interpreted and decisions are made. As a result, Israel does not need to own or command the aircraft carrier if it can shape the conversation that determines where it sails. Therefore, Pax Judaica is not about replacing or equaling American power, but hijacking it, leveraging US resources to advance Israel's own interests and goals. Yet for many, Pax Judaica still sounds implausible, and I think it's because people still don't grasp the extent to which Israel has gained leverage over the American empire. Beneath all the arguments, what this comes down to is one question: does the dog wag the tail, or does the tail wag the dog?
Trust nothing. No